We were just getting ready to shoot this next episode of the podcast. Welcome back, by the way, to Daylight Boomin'. We'll get to the intro in just a minute here. But we were just reminded by Knopf of this story from season X or season 0 of Late Night Boomin'. How are you tired, Jack?
Excellent.
I keep yawning today. I'm actually really tired today.
Sunday is a day to usually be like
when
resting.
I woke up this morning, I was sleeping very well.
I look forward to the day where we can do the podcast during the week.
It'll be nice.
When it's our full-time job.
It'll be nice.
Anyways, Knopf remembered, reminded us.
Really deep bit of reality right there.
Knopf reminded us of this moment from season X when it all shut down.
Yeah.
What happened? What happened? The school that we were at.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Really ended up, or you guys actually, because I wasn't involved at that time. I didn't come in until like half of legit season 1, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You guys only did like 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, we did 2 shows there. And yeah, it was a whole thing. So I remember we were just pulling any strings we could to get all the resources we could.
So episode 2 just ended.
Yeah.
We're planning for episode 3.
But
Zach Dresch was supposed to be the guest.
He was going to be.
he was.
Right.
That was the shutdown. So it was shut down. Wait, okay, I think we might be talking about 2 different things here.
I think we have to, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
We're not talking about like the reason the season stopped. So, or I guess maybe. But
they were a little connected. Weren't
Yeah.
We're talking about the cat food
yeah, that's
thing.
what I'm talking about.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's
What?
talk about that. Let's talk about that. Yeah,
So we're playing episode 1, season X. Me and Jack are, I don't know if you guys know this, I'm the original co-host.
he is the OG co-host,
OG.
guys.
Yeah.
And, possibly the future co-host of the podcast.
Maybe.
Yep, maybe.
Or, once the lucrative deals start coming in.
Yeah, I hear Nike's on the line to sponsor
Nike.
us.
Yeah,
Hey, what's up,
Adidas,
Steph
actually.
Curry? Can you give us the Under Armour sponsorship?
But
Yeah.
so, episode 1, you got to do get to know your host, which, you eventually did
It's a
with
classic.
Zach and Reed. But
It's a popular bit.
yeah,
It is.
Jack and I were playing this game, and one of the rounds was eat real cat food.
That's really
And
disgusting.
Jack lost, and he spit the cat food out because it was disgusting, obviously.
Yeah.
Right,
And
right.
So we went to
Right.
a smaller Christian school, and this where we were filming, because originally Late Night Boomin' wasn't meant to be this massive, what it is now,
Like
like a Sioux
production,
Falls
yeah.
production. Like it was just me and Jack were bored during COVID.
Dinking around.
We're bored in COVID at college. Yeah.
Do you want me to censor that, or
Yeah.
should I
Yeah,
just...
probably. Yeah.
Okay, I'll censor it.
But yeah, we were bored in college because COVID shut everything down. And so campus life just took a dump. And Jack and I decided, we were like,
Grammar, please.
if other people aren't going to let us have fun, we'll make the fun ourselves. So that's why Late Night Boomin' actually started. And because we weren't planning on making this some big thing, we were just using resources.
Yeah.
We're using their building.
Yeah,
Things
we're
that we
using
have
the
been
college's
always-
resources.
Oh my goodness.
we might have to bleep that. We might have to bleep it
The
out.
thing is, so I don't know if you guys noticed this. I've never been on a podcast before, so I'm just talking to my friends, and there happens to be cameras on.
That's all right. I've got you covered. I've got you covered.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Bleep. The college, we're just using their resources, but one of the resources we were using was this massive auditorium that was pretty much made for a talk show. It seemed like, but that is where they had their chapel, and so a religious ceremony, and Jack spit on the floor in this chapel, and
all of a sudden the optics looked
One of many
apparently.
things that they utilize that.
yeah. First of all, it's a classroom. It's
Right.
also where
It's a lecture
They do
hall.
lecture
It's
hall.
a lecture
Yeah,
hall.
yeah.
It's mostly use everything.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
They
Yeah.
show movies in there. They
Yeah,
have
it's a-
popcorn nights.
everything,
They got
everything.
Yeah,
Lock
literally
everything.
everything.
We were in there.
Really set up to do everything.
We
Yeah.
were in there weeks before spitting Oreos on the ground.
Yeah, but that was with the college's event, so it was okay.
Right.
Who cares?
Yeah.
But the girl who ran the entire program,
Media program.
thought this was the most disrespectful thing ever. Did she know that we cleaned it up instantly, and it's like spitting food. It's not a big deal.
But I don't think.
But you guys clean it up though.
The cat food was just a piece of her qualm.
And it wasn't like some sort of insult like on the like establishment.
No, there was
like
I
I don't know how it could have been perceived that way. So we've been using resources from people who are willing to let us. For so long we've been using our church's resources because there's such, they have such a stronghold in the community and they're so great with the community. Mm-hmm. They've been so forgiving to us, and we're always super great when other institutions give that same amount to us. So yeah, the fact that you guys cleaned it up right away, like it's obviously just for the bit. It wasn't a thing again. It's like,
but it ran deeper than that,
right?
Because like there was other points that she had brought up, like we had Sean Cable on as the guest, and mid-interview, and he was a popular host on the KSFY local news station. Well, during his interview, the trumpet player played the Kello theme song as a joke, and Sean thought it was hilarious. He even texted me afterwards. He was like, "That was so funny when he played the Kello." And then she's like, "Also, when they played the trumpet song during Sean's interview of Kelloland, that was the most disrespectful thing I've ever heard in my life."
Like, it's just like, what, can we not have fun?
Yeah.
Hey, are we not poking a little bit? Like,
we just razz.
It's just
we like to
razzing.
razz.
It's not. None of it is done with like ill intent. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
It's totally the mindset. It's that stupid mindset of you're freaking offended over everything.
Yeah.
Snowflakes.
Yeah. LMB gets canceled.
Over fish food.
But I don't know. I feel like there had to be like something, like they just didn't want us doing it or something, like, because at that's when you get to the point where you're just like pulling stuff. You know
what it really was? They saw so much potential in us that they were scared that we would overtake them. They had to kick us out.
Overtaking the
Little
whole
did
school.
they know those visions that they had in their heads of us having a massive theater and doing these shows to them. That horrible vision they thought that they were trying to prevent. It was exactly what they caused. Them kicking you out is what pushed you to go.
Oh, you guys got kicked out?
We actually got.
I'm being hyperbolic.
We got suspended from school, and
you were on probation.
That's why Jack doesn't have a degree.
We got suspended.
Wait,
and
I thought you dropped out. Is this how I find out?
We got suspended, and they emailed all the surrounding colleges in the area, and they said, "Do not let these guys into college."
No.
Wait, no.
Yeah.
Is that real?
Wait, no, but you graduated though.
You're mad. You.
No. I was like,
I swear.
I literally graduated from that school.
Clip that. That was you got me.
That doesn't make any sense because Nav graduated.
I was gonna go further with the bit, but I just started laughing.
Oh
I was gonna say
my-
they gave us a restraining
There's no
order.
way. Wait, but Jack, did
gosh.
you went on like probation school?
No,
school
there was
everything?
actually nothing. Like
They actually didn't like. They were
they
like
pulled their
offended by it, but
cameras.
they were just like, "Hey, you can't use the cameras." But like, cameras turns out it's a pretty important thing to
Yeah.
To shoot a late night show.
to shoot
Yeah.
a show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the second episode was a nightmare.
Oh my god.
Everything about it was
Because
just
I got
wreck.
like
you got sick.
super sick. So then the day of, Jack had to get a new co-host.
The
I remember that.
day of, we had to get a new co-host. Siege and I were desperately trying to figure out this camera situation. We were trying to get the audio situation figured out. They had a person come in 5 minutes after showtime started to run
my
audio.
gosh.
Audio did not run. It kept like fizzing out. We couldn't get the projector to drop to show our videos. When we did get to drop it, like hit the desk. We had to pause so many times. It was a mess, you guys. It was a wreck, the second episode. But
it was a hill we had to
Get
climb.
through.
Look at
It was.
Look at it this way. Those two episodes, especially the second, they were literally precursors of lessons that you had to learn to look forward to actually doing the show.
Right.
Right,
This is
because
true.
how we approached those at the time helped us a lot in our attitude and how we actively approach the show now.
very true.
Yeah.
There were some core things that we had to learn.
Yeah.
Just
Just troubleshooting on the fly
Yeah.
was a big one, honestly.
I think
And
I'd say
that's never something that you go through right away because it takes a little bit of time as you encounter new issues.
100%. Case in point, do you guys remember show 4 of season 1 when the one of the dudes running audio forget to hit record on this
Yes.
machine right here.
Yes.
We have this lovely machine
Check
that we
if it's recording.
It's
our
recording.
sound on,
It's recording.
and you can see it's recording.
It's called the Zoom F6. Please don't rob me. It's worth a lot of money.
Don't rob C. Joe.
That's like $600 right there.
Yeah.
And we missed all the audio from the whole
We got
full TV
the
episode.
whole thing. Very similar to the situation with actually the first show from season 1, where we also had no multi-track. It was all condensed
Yeah.
onto one track.
That's right.
And
That sucks.
the band audio in that show was completely unusable, and you had to salvage the audio from that show using the camera or the audio that the camera's recording.
Yes.
For us simpletons who don't understand what words you just said, what is
Multi-track.
what does this mean?
So, okay, no. I ain't gonna do this. So a multi-track, it's like what we're doing here. So at the end of when you watch this podcast on YouTube, you're hearing everybody's voices compressed onto one track, just because it's like the easiest way to like compress video. But when you're editing something, you want you want full capability to edit everything. If you recorded all of our voices onto one track when I'm trying to edit this podcast, it would be extremely
Disaster.
hard to edit. So multi-track in essence is having like multiple different things being recorded at the same time, so then later you can compress them and edit them and make them sound better.
And in a slightly different but extremely similar aspect, when doing
It's like
sound-
multicam but for audio.
And yeah, basically, essentially what you're doing is you're literally doing just sound for everything individually. When you're doing sound for live bands and you're doing recordings, which is a lot of what they do when they do recordings in studio, they literally, every single little instrument, every vocal, everything is individualized, has its own separate microphone, from a cymbal to a drum to, guitar, keys, whatever. Every single thing is individualized. That way it makes it way easier to perfectly set the balance of the way you want it in the after.
Case in point,
Because obviously I'm a sound guy.
the zoo episode. I don't know if you guys remember when we had the zoo on.
Yes,
Uh,
I love that episode.
It was
That
so
episode
fun.
was great.
And they brought these zoo animals on, and this really nice lady came on and she showed us all these animals. Well, there at the live show, while she's showing us, hardly anyone can hear anything because the band was so loud.
Right.
And like she
Yeah.
was like talking and no one could hear what she was saying. After the fact, because they recorded it on 3 different tracks, we could bring the band volume down,
And bring the dialogue up.
dialogue up,
Yeah.
so then we could control so that it didn't sound like you were sitting there live. We
Right.
could fix it in post.
There is a lot of
Learn with us.
things.
Learn with us.
Editing 101.
And
LNB Film School.
We're dipping our toes into the education waters.
and being in the booth, because I just realized
Oh, we got the booth boys! I can't believe we didn't talk about it at all in the last episode. We got the booth boys.
Bada booth.
Bada booth.
Yeah, and for me, it's like a conflicting thing because as much like video stuff that I do, and that I do, for LNB and that I do for, my church and stuff like that, with me doing so much sound, having a fair amount of experience in sound, I'm always very conflicted back and forth when I'm doing one and I can't do the other, or vice versa. 'Cause
You have so much passion for both.
I do, and I'm
Yeah.
kind of a control freak.
Yeah, I get it.
I
get it,
There's
honestly.
something that is
Slag
right.
trigger.
Just like I mentioned in the
Slag
a couple episodes back when I went to
Slag
the recent
trigger.
comedy show. Oh God, the freaking sound guy was irritating me, and I almost wanted to get up and tell him how to do his job.
Listen here, guy.
The male Karen.
Yeah.
Male Karen.
Karen.
A Chad.
Chad,
No.
Chad.
That is not what a Chad means.
No.
Is it?
Darren.
Yes.
Darren.
It was
Yes.
so
Darren.
difficult. It was so difficult for me in the booth running just video for you guys, and then every now and then I would hear audio problems, and I'm thinking in my head, try do this.
Do that.
But you can't tell them what to do. They get paid to do that there. So
Right,
you gotta
right.
let them.
You know,
Right.
what's so interesting is I realized that. So Eddie and I have been talking. We spent 4 hours on the road, and during that time, we were talking about how season 3 could look, and we were realizing part of the reason why our quality has been such kind of this exponential curve where it's not just because there is not a studio where they anywhere around here where they record like they do a traditional late night show or like a talk show where they have a studio audience and you're
Right.
capturing sound from them.
Right.
You're also capturing audio from the people on stage, from the band, and none of those audios can mix.
Right. It's
With each
so hard to
Yeah.
get them to.
And
yeah.
so they have these specific sets built for that.
Mhm.
And so it's been an interesting journey of like tweaking it as we go. And you can hear if you, even in season 2, if you start with episode 1 and you work your way all the way to show 8 with Sean Cable, you're going to hear the difference in audio quality
Yes.
shift as we go.
Yeah.
The biggest difference seriously happened in season 1.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Audio.
Way bigger. Not just from the lessons that you learned from stuff, that had happened, but and I kind of, this is where I get the technical advisor part of my job. When I kind of came on the line and I started kind of mentioning little things here and there that needed to be like addressed and stuff like that.
Mhm.
You guys paid attention to that.
Mhm.
And frankly, things got way better really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really did.
Yeah.
Well, and also Dale has also been a massive help when he
Oh, yeah.
when he finally
the
warmed
man.
up to us,
Yes.
which it did take a little bit.
It did.
Which is honestly fair. It was a whole brand new production and it was scary for all of us.
yeah. Like this is
Yeah.
it's not a
We
typical.
had, I remember when we started, I feel so bad. We were saying such mean things about Dale and now he's such a great guy. And we were just, and he
That's so
he
mean.
has the same problem I have, RBS.
What's that mean?
Resting bitch face.
Oh.
Sometimes you just can't really like give a whole lot of emotion, but like I've sat down with him and had some really honest, genuine, great, deep conversations with him. Like I love talking about like movies and music with him. It's so weird getting to work with such a strange and random people you would never think that you would ever get to meet.
There has been.
And he's got a cool car too.
Too, you recognize they're talented individuals.
Right.
They didn't get to what they're doing without knowing what they're doing.
Right.
See, you gotta have faith.
Yep. Yep. And it is so interesting too. Like sometimes I remember like going back in the green room, well, I guess every single show, and you just see the randomest groupings of people together. I'm like, this
Oh no,
whole-
Jack! Don't do this.
It's like you just go in the back and you're like, this. You got somebody dressed in this big star. You got Dave Holly in a wheelchair.
A Ninja Turtle.
A Ninja Turtle. It's
a
like-
wrestler.
A wrestler. It's like this is just an average day here. What do you need, C. Joe?
I was looking for my phone and I was sitting on it.
You were sitting on it, dude.
Let's roll the intro.
Oh shoot!
Welcome back to Daylight Booming. It's the only show where the sun shines bright and our co-host, Jack Unruh, shines brighter.
Shines bright like a diamond.
Ruined that. I was giving you like this.
All right,
And
all
you
right.
took it all the way down there.
All right, guys. All right, guys. Slick trigger.
No! Oh, you know what?
thank
Last
you,
episode,
Willow.
last
I forgot.
episode we
I
didn't get it.
whispered
Let's
on the
go.
mic.
Did you really?
Slick trigger.
Did you really?
Slick trigger. Slick trigger.
For the last episode you did too?
I think I did.
Better,
like a blur.
Better not have. Before we get started, what?
Last episode didn't say it at all.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
I
didn't
know.
see it.
I know.
We made it another.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
Wait, did you guys guys say it at all when you guys did?
The first time,
The first episode that
I
we
failed you,
recorded?
Jack.
Yeah, no.
Jack, I failed
No,
you.
but the second one you did.
But the second one.
Jack, we failed you. I failed you.
We do it at least once per show.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
count 2 as one show.
Right.
Yeah.
We're really in this hang of doing 2 in 1.
Yeah. That's a
We're
good
about
schedule for us.
efficiency.
We are about efficiency.
We are.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay, couple things. I just wanted to talk about really quick.
Some housekeeping things.
Some housekeeping, some previous business I just want to get over. Really quick. A few weeks ago in a podcast episode, we talked about how we got grilled for saying conversate. I just wanted to bring up, it has been brought to my attention that conversate is in fact in the dictionary. It is a word.
Siege has so much beef.
Yes.
Dude, you're so
Siege has
petty.
so
People
much
actually
beef
came
with
to
the
our
commenters.
defense in the comments.
I know.
I did see that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
just-
you're so petty.
Siege about to make a diss track on our commenters.
If it's a
great big bold letters.
I also realized shortly after that episode that I think I picked it up because in the song DNA by Kendrick Lamar, he says it.
Conversation.
I don't
Conversate.
compromise, I conversate.
Well, he gets that card anyways.
Okay, even though in this scenario it's right, just because something is said in a rap song doesn't make it a real word.
Yeah.
I can think of a lot of things that are said in rap songs that aren't
They're
English
not
language.
aren't even
Yeah.
a word. Yeah,
No,
you're
they.
right.
Skeet.
Like if you listen to Lil Wayne's songs,
Yeah.
He's just making noise.
yeah,
Oh, that's Lil Jon. So
Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah,
Lil
yeah.
Jon.
Lil Jon.
My bad. I wanted to talk really quick because this is something that I just wanted to just bring to everybody's attention. Guys, Naf is such a great, cool guy. You might not know it because he doesn't give the immediate complexion, but he is so cool, so crazy.
so crucial.
I have an insane story to tell about the first time that actually I saw you in a different light and I gained a new respect for
Let's
you.
go.
When we were on season 2, we're doing the South Dakota trip, that episode,
Oh
Yes.
man,
and we're driving
Oh.
out. We're heading to the Badlands,
in the Honda Pilot.
right?
Honda Pilot, show
Min-
clip.
Min
Show
Lewis
clip.
Honda Pilot. Show the web clip.
Now you
Web
gotta
clip.
download it off of YouTube, Siege. Sorry.
Not doing it. So we're driving down there, and this was shortly after the very popular Not Like Us, or maybe it was right before Not Like Us came out. It was the rap beef between Drake
Yeah,
and
the
Kendrick.
iconic
was
rap beef.
kicking off the
Yep.
iconic rap beef from last year, which was crazy. Anyways, we were talking about it, and Naf brought up that he could rap "Hit 'Em Up" by Tupac and Outlawz. And then he did it. And word for word, obviously excluding the really bad ones, that white
Which are
people...
most of the words.
He said 2 words.
He genuinely, that was like, I gained a new respect for you that day. I
Yeah.
was like, that was so sick.
Can we
That
do a
was
live
so
demonstration?
Cool.
I legally cannot.
Can you do it? Can you for a late night moon live
Yeah.
show, halftime show?
But yeah, it's when you grow up. My older sister is 8 years older than me, and we're actually the youngest in all of our cousins. So like those early rap songs of like early 2000s, late 90s, like that is like actually my era for music.
That's
Where,
so,
like,
I love that
because
so
my older
much.
sibling, I didn't get to pick what my older sister listened to in the car. So Tupac is like my number one for old rappers, and then like Eminem, Biggie. I'm not like as big into Biggie as Tupac, because
Right.
they had beef. But
Right. And you got to pick one over the
Yeah.
other.
what?
Maybe at the time, Little Diddy.
Maybe not. Maybe
No, maybe not Diddy.
No,
He's
no.
been, no, it's a Diddy. guy.
Real talk, not a Diddy guy. Real talk. I couldn't even tell you a
Says
single
Lil
P
Diddy.
Diddy song.
Wake up in the morning feeling
That's
like
that's
Kesha.
That's Kesha. That's Kesha.
Speaking of P Diddy, Jack only knows like the ABCs and ASL, and
That's
him
all
and-
you know, brother?
Pretty
Come
much.
on, you
maybe
took
like
ASL classes.
maybe like 5 other things.
Yeah.
I retained 0.5% of the information I got.
brother.
Dude, I'm the same way with Spanish. I took 2 years of Spanish, and I know one sentence.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's the
No me
biblioteca?
gusta verde calendarios, which means I don't like green calendars. And it's actually not even right in the
That is
Spanish.
so weird and random at the same time.
I know.
You never
It's-
know when you're going to need to use that. You find yourself in the middle of Mexico, and
But
you need to get
like, do you
off
understand
jail-free card.
like a little bit the language of like people like come
No.
up to you? Okay.
Nah, that was like my 9th and 10th grade year of high school. Like that's literally ages ago. But oh yeah, back to the story about P. Diddy. So him and my girlfriend, all they do is like they'll point at me and then they'll do like hearts and then the letters. You always do, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They always point at me and they're like, he loves P. Diddy, and I'm
Oh, you spell it out, bro.
like, and I'm like. The first couple times they just burst out laughing, and I had no. I'm like, what are you guys saying about me?
So angry. He's like, "What the heck are
And
you
then
doing?"
eventually he told me, and I was like, you guys have been calling me a pervert for weeks. And they just,
Hey, that's not as bad. Back when we did small YouTube channels talk, and before we had any cameras on the podcast,
You did.
Jack and Eddie and Ron would razz me and say that I've got swastikas hanging up in my room,
Dude, that's
and I've got
messed up.
Nazi posters, and
Because
I've got
it
all
was
this
just
Nazi
audio.
memorabilia, because it's just audio,
Yeah.
and I have to sit there and go, no,
We're like, how are
and
you guys gonna
defend
know?
myself.
We're like, the audience will never know.
Oh, it's
you're
like,
like, prove it, Siege, put it on camera.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
clips or it didn't happen.
So
you know?
just for you viewers out there,
No.
You said way more. What?
He spelled Harvey Weinstein.
no,
He
Bill
loves
Cosby.
Oh, that's
no.
just as bad. Just as bad.
I mean, I can't. I'm. You guys
He
want me
does
back
love
on this
Bill Cosby.
podcast,
He's a
dude.
big Bill
Want me
Cosby
to-
guy.
The next episode of Daylight Boink. Never mind. That's,
Like, boink.
that's a bit from our friend group.
Joe
We'll
will
be-
always be like, I saw your thing on TV, your big time boinkers or whatever it was.
Yeah, he will refuse to say late night booming.
You're
like,
late time banging.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever.
and the word is different every single time he says it.
Yeah.
You know, he really just hates supporting his friends, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, he won't even watch a single episode of Pop Off, anything. Like,
Really?
Oh,
just.
by
just,
the way, I'm so offended that you guys haven't been inviting me to these outings for the
No,
vlogs.
it's like
I would
You
have.
guys
I
would
would have
not-
killed
you-
that pizza.
You
by
guys
the way.
would not see, you would have probably died
I
with your lactose intolerance.
later this year, we must return to Bosses, and I want to participate in that challenge.
Can you handle
With
the
somebody.
cheese?
Yeah, I've got pills.
that's straight up lies.
got
He just
pills.
want to be in it. He just want to be included.
I can vlog myself on the toilet.
Those pills-
blur.
That would
We'll
suck.
blur.
Go for
We'll
on the
blur.
toilet.
Those pills are meant for a little consumption.
He's like, I'm doing the boss hog.
No, but you guys, I also come from a bowling family, so like,
Yeah, actually. that's
You're a
why do
bowler?
you invite me out bowling?
Bowling?
That is
Yeah.
100%.
I'm
Yeah.
also a bowling family. I
What? I
am
did
from a
not
bowling
come from
family,
bowling
so
family.
every Friday night growing up would be at the bowling alley for league. And when I finally got to the age like 18, I wanted to play on the team with my family. And because my average wasn't in the 200s, I had to play on the girls' team.
Bro.
So there's two NOF teams. It was the NOFia or the NOF men,
The
and then
Nafia? That's
Yeah.
such a cool. That's so cool. Naf, you're so cool.
and it's pretty sick. Yeah,
That's
that
pretty
is our
sick.
full family group chat on Snapchat. Is all the NOFs, the NOFia.
That's
But
so cool.
yeah, so it was all like the dudes on one team, and then the girls and me on the other team. And because I'm not actually a great bowler, it was sad.
Yeah, my entire
But I had more fun than them, so that's what matters.
Yeah,
my,
team spirit.
My entire like immediate family, everybody.
Really?
Everybody.
That's crazy.
Like my mom.
Genetics.
Yeah,
I'm a
my
good
mom
bowler
was-
because of that one.
Heck yeah.
Are you really?
She was,
I'm not
was a
horrible.
bowler. She won some stuff. She had a few trophies. My dad, he won some stuff. My brother, I don't know as much now, but I mean, he was like at the top of his game like not too long ago, doing really good. My other brother, who's no longer here, he was the only lefty in the family.
Which is such an advantage bowling.
It was weird, but
So watching him bowl was weird.
Yeah.
It was cool though.
Extremely cool to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like I have a nephew. I'm not kidding. He could go on the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
He's that good.
Are you talking DJ?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He actually went to college and did bowling in college. He's
Only Midwest people, by the way, have
huge bowl.
families of bowling families.
Bowling family.
I come from a bowling family. You don't
we're
hear
bowlers.
that in New York or California.
Well, yeah, because they can go outside year round.
Yeah, literally.
Right.
They have
right.
beaches and mountains or wherever, but
Yeah,
not here.
Yeah.
It's something with the cold that keeps people indoors.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was a coach. He coached high school teams, girls teams. Actually, one of the teams that he coached for won a national championship. And they all got rings, just like the
Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl. So yeah.
That's great.
Wow.
Okay. So for this next and probably final segment of this episode, because we already hit 30 minutes. Holy crap.
That's crazy.
Time flies.
This final segment of the episode, we are just going to go to this camera, sorry, we'll switch to it now. Welcome to the segment called Jackin' Off. This segment, Jack and Knopf are going to discuss a simple question that I've given them.
Now I see why you placed us in these chairs.
That is
the objective of
diabolical.
the game is simple. I promise. It's not the name of the game is just for fun. It's just for fun.
What do you mean?
This week's
Is there
question.
something wrong with the name? I don't get it.
I don't understand.
This
Please spell
week's-
it out for me.
This week's question for you two to discuss: what are some widely panned movies you loved? What are some movies widely considered bad that you like? Just you two.
Spider-Man 3.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, as a Spider-Man lover, I completely agree with that position.
People
but
say it's bad. I don't know why.
I would say it's the worst Spider-Man movie, but the worst Spider-Man movie is like the worst burger. Like it's still an 8 out of 10 food. Like
I disagree. I think it's one of the greatest Spider-Man movies.
No, that's just simply not true.
100%.
Nah, you're wrong.
Hold up, keep going. Elaborate. I gotta hear why. Keep going.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
So
Huge
what makes a
argument
movie
about
great
this.
is the director's vision, and that we kind of talked about it before the cameras were on about like how commercials are bad because so many executives get their fingers in the pie or whatever and ruin it. In Spider-Man 3, Venom wasn't even written in the original script.
You're right. Yeah.
But Sam Raimi wanted a movie on Sandman, which even though that sounds boring to most of us because he's like the worst villain, everything got switched up last second. And because of it, neither Venom or Sandman get the proper like character development that they deserve. Where I think it was good with New Goblin and Spider-Man, as corny as some of his scenes were, like those scenes were great and I love them and the action was good, but I think like I had no empathy for really either of the villains. And like I think even though villains are obviously bad and evil, like what makes a great villain is like I'm like, man, they're
human
wrong,
aspects.
but like I get why they're doing it
You
or something like
understand
that.
it.
Yeah.
Or either the opposite way, like they're just crazy, like a Goblin or Joker type villain, but like either you have to be crazy or have empathy, and I had none of those for those two villains, which make it the weakest Spider-Man movie in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Jack.
Yeah.
What's your take?
Yeah.
I just thought it was fun. I thought it was so like when I was a kid watching, I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah, as a
And
kid,
like-
it was my favorite.
Yeah.
Because at one point, Spider-Man's taking on two super powerful villains at the same time. Which,
3. Or no, I guess he teams up with.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you even
Hobgoblin.
watch the
Hobgoblin.
movie?
Do they? I don't know.
No, wait, this is a different Spider-Man. Yeah, no, they team up at the end, but I thought the action was so cool. I was like, whoa, this is awesome. Plus, I think it's fun. It feels very immersive into the whole Spider-Man universe. I love that they didn't just like pick one and kind of run with it, even though sometimes that works. I loved how fun and expansive it was. And also, it is the most memed movie like of all time. Every single
Certainly
line,
one of the most.
Yeah.
One of the
every
most
single
huge.
line is a meme.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like kind of back to what
And
we
he
were
can do
talking
the dance
early
from
college.
it.
Yeah.
All right,
so
do the dance.
the first weekend in college, there was a dance.
Yeah.
And I was doing dance moves at it, just like me and Jack were going back and forth doing random dances. And one of the ones that like kind of became iconic in our friend group, I subconsciously didn't even know is a Spider-Man dance.
Is it the dance that he
Yeah.
does?
When he does this, I kept doing this. And
You
now
just a hip
as-
thrust too?
Yeah, with the hip thrust.
Yeah.
And the first weekend I did that in front of Jack and the rest of the crew, and they all thought it was ridiculous, and so they always make fun of me for it. But like, I got that ridiculous dance move from Spider-Man. I didn't even know it.
It was iconic.
It's iconic.
It was ingrained to your head,
yeah,
Nav.
it's so good.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, so I'd say that's my pick for movie that people say is crap, but I love. That's my pick.
Yeah.
Give me one more movie.
So here, it's kind of, I hate this opinion, but like, so I would say, at least I know with you, and I don't know where your opinion would be on this, but like, I would say overall as a whole, Adam Sandler movies get hated by people who love real movies. Like, I'd say like your average like Joe Schmo who just wants a comedy probably likes them, but like people who love great movies, like your most Leo movies or whatever, like they
Your
kind of like,
Nolans and
yeah,
things like that.
Big action stuff or like
Blockbusters.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
critically acclaimed
exactly
movies.
like those people who love those think Sandler is like pretty trash.
No,
And
it's
I would say
not.
like objectively, like my hot take is that if I could only watch one actor's movies for the rest of my life, I'm picking Adam Sandler. Because
I would totally
think his movies, even though like they're simple and he plays the same character in all of them, that character is amazing, and there's like heartfelt, and I think they're just genuinely like funny. Like you're a Will Ferrell versus Sandler guy, where like I think Adam Sandler's movies have way more like better characters, better like emotional aspects to it, where I like a movie to be like funny most of the time, but I want like 10% to be serious, like Big Daddy or
You want a little tear?
yeah, you know.
Sandler's way better than Farrell.
Yeah, thank
No.
you.
I think
That's crazy.
I actually don't think it's. I don't think it's
That's
a far.
crazy.
I don't think it's a far gap. I actually go back and forth sometimes, but I think just by an edge, I'm picking Will Ferrell because I think at large he's made me laugh the hardest. Like Sandman is so funny. He makes me laugh. He makes like I love his movies. They're so funny. But I think I've laughed the hardest at Will Ferrell.
The way Sandler though proved that he can do dramatic roles.
Oh yeah, like
with
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems is so.
And
so
Hustle.
Yeah,
And then the Hustle movie too.
He showed us that he can make fantastic Oscar-worthy films.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that he chooses to make fun films with his friends, honestly, if I had to watch, Sandler would probably be towards the top of my list, just considering his movies are so full of passion, and you can tell even if they're not always great, you can tell he cares.
Yeah.
And that means so much more than a great movie that has no emotion.
I think he really likes to make movies with his friends.
And
And dude, I think like with our group, like at the end of the day, like Jack, you've done it. Like you keep your friends in the loop with like Siege and like myself, even though like I'm not as in it as I used to be, but like you're always like keeping your friends around. And I think that's what Sandler does. Like it's like the guy likes making movies, and then so he takes his best friends and then just puts them in his movies. Like if I could trade lives with anyone, like it would be Sandler. Like to just like make movies with your best friends all the time.
that would be
It'd
so
be so
fun.
much
I
fun.
do.
Working with your friends, and it's your favorite thing to do.
So fun. I think literally like that's the reason like I think all of us like set out doing like all the film stuff because that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
Just like hang out with our pals.
Yeah.
I think I agree with you. I think if I'm going to pick one actor, I would pick watching, if I could only choose one, I would watch Sandman's movies over any other actors. like at large. If you get one actor and you can only watch their movies the rest of your life, I think I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna go.
Does that count his comedy specials too? Please, because that
count
would
his
be
comedy
amazing.
specials?
That counts the comedy
Yes, it
specials.
counts his
Let's
comedy
go!
specials.
And then you're
Counts-
getting a full worth. You're getting a full worth.
Yes.
Going even like one step further, there's like 2 specific movies that I would watch over and over and over, and I could watch over and over, which is Grown Ups 1 and Grown Ups 2.
Yes.
Yes.
I love the
I
Grown
love
Ups
They're
those
movies.
so family friendly, like good. Like a lot of his movies are more raunchy, but like those movies, like Grown Ups 1, I literally watch every year on the 4th of July or like that weekend. It's so good, and every single time, it's just fun. Like kind of like what you said about Spider-Man. Like I watch it and the whole time I'm just entertained.
It's so fun.
Didn't we watch it when we were in?
When we were at that trip. Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
we went to the Valorant trip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did.
Was
Yeah.
it 1 or 2?
One. We
It
were
was
watching
one.
we were watching
Yeah.
one.
So good.
So good. Those movies.
I think we
are
were
great.
late to Hippie Hole because we were watching.
Yeah.
Grown
Yeah, I
Ups, and it was like dark outside.
Yeah.
Oh, those
which
rough.
was a major mistake, hindsight. Because
Yes.
the Hippie Hole was awesome. We barely got
Yeah,
any time.
we got
in it.
like
Yeah.
almost got
30 minutes,
lost.
30,
Yeah.
30 to 35 minutes.
We
really
got
so
lost
good.
in the woods.
I'm trying to think of underrated, like movies that people don't like that I do. That's such a hard.
I thought it was. Is that a good? That's a good challenging.
What about
question,
Mr.
no?
Yeah.
That's a good challenging question.
Mr. Deeds is good. I love Mr. Deeds. I think the bit where his foot feels no
Yo,
pain is hilarious.
Click.
Click's great.
Okay,
Okay,
Click surprised me. I heard all this crap about Click for so many years, and I hear one person tell me, "Yo, it's actually really good. It'll surprise you." And I was like, "Really?" And I was like, "Okay, I'll give it a try." I had zero expectations, truly none. Like before, they were down here, and then they like got brought up by that one person. I was like, "Okay, truly, I have no clue."
Yeah.
I cried.
It's my go-to crime movie. I can't
That
watch
movie
Click.
tore me up.
It's depressing. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Dude, if you love your father, or maybe if you don't, maybe it gets the opposite emotions. I watched that movie and I instantly mourn my dad. My dad's fully alive. He's great.
Yeah.
I'm kind of just spoiled the movie, but pretty much not really actually, but like it just like makes you like realize like that life is like, even though there are mundane things like work and, you know, sometimes a family meal or two that you're like, this is not worth it. I just want to be in my room. Like, it's such a good message.
You can't phone it in.
Yeah, you can't
live your life.
Can't phone
It's
it
so
in.
good.
Yeah.
Can't
Like
find
we were talking about Valentine's earlier, because it was not too long ago. 50 First Dates.
A classic.
Having to do that every day.
Yeah.
That is crazy, actually. I would not do that.
Yeah.
I love my girlfriend, but
That's
I was
so
like,
good.
it took me 8 hours to convince her to like me the first time. I can't do that every single day of my life.
It's gonna be every single day.
Do that times 50. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Really quick, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to get your Bada Boom Crew merch at badaboomcrew.com/shop.
Shop.
Ladies and gentlemen, please watch full episodes of Late Night Boomin' on YouTube. And don't forget to stream this podcast wherever you can find them, or on Spotify or YouTube. And we'll see you next week. Peace. Bye.